Everybody knows who's that one guy that thought was gay from Andrew Tate's stream. That's literally the only thing anyone knows about.
You're a 40-year-old. You're a 40-year-old. You're a 40-year-old.
Aiden,
you're
chill.
A 40-year-old.
Aiden, chill. Guys,
Train, you gotta play both sides here, bro. I know you're trying to break me off, but he's starting.
Yeah, I said guys, chill, and he went quiet.
I'm not gonna say you're take shit from a 40-year-old. I'm not gonna do it,
bro. You gotta.
I'm not gonna do it,
guys. This is not. Listen.
I'm not doing that.
The last thing I want. Listen, if you guys.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be really careful when I walk by a daycare because I don't want any Aiden Ross fans to come out and beat the shit out of me. So I'll be really
funny, dude. Oh shit, dude. Oh.
So Aiden called Destiny the F slur probably 10 times in a row here. He really went off.
You're a 40-year-old. You're a 40-year-old.
Aiden,
you're
chill.
A 40-year-old.
Aiden, chill.
Now, personally, it's probably not surprising to you guys to hear that I thought this was pretty funny. I'm sorry, I just have to admit it. I found it epic, pilled, Kanye style, gummy bear maximized. Aiden's cells were winning when he did that, and realistically, there's no reason I can't find this funny. So, yeah, I thought it was funny. Even though I like Destiny, even though I don't like Aiden that much, I still thought it was pretty funny. I don't know. The way the conversation started is that the panel was talking about firearms, and Destiny referred to some California law about having to add a weird attachment to guns as having to add cuck attachments to them. Now, Aiden's ears perked up when he heard that. The Metal Gear Solid alert sound went off in his head, and so he felt the need to really go after Destiny here at that moment.
Wait, that's
more dangerous.
Destiny, did you say cuck attachments?
Yeah, it's a cuck attachment. They just they do like nothing for the gun. It's like retarded.
Why'd you use that word cuck?
Whoa.
Because it's a fun word to use. Why, of all the things I've said tonight, why is that like the one thing that your mind goes to? Is there something you want to watch right now, like Find Your Girlfriend, or what?
No, it's just funny. It's funny how that word.
Okay, gotcha. All right, it is on my mind. You know, I've just recently got into a cuck relationship. You know, I like sitting in the corner watching people plow. You know, all the women that I date.
Yeah, so do you think that's normal? Do you think that's normal to watch? The girl you love.
What?
No, I think it's normal to.
This is not a Raj Royale, okay? This is a.
No, hold on.
Okay.
I like it. I'm getting really excited.
Every time Aiden opens his mouth, bro, you gotta like parent him. Let him go, man.
Okay, I don't want guests to feel attacked.
I want to feel attacked. Yeah, let's do it. Yes.
I don't know why Trainwreck is trying to avoid conflict desperately here, because from my perspective, it's called the Scuffed Podcast. It's supposed to be scuffed, you know, like kind of up and shit. You brought 7 people other than yourself on to have a conversation, and obviously you were hoping there would be some kind of conflict between the people who were on. I feel like he's almost faking this opposition to the argument here, because obviously this is what people want to see from a show like this, especially with someone like Aiden Ross, who's known to be controversial and say out-of-pocket shit, and especially with Destiny, who debates for a living and is one of the most outspoken political streamers on the internet and is willing to fight with anyone, and also has a lot of enemies, particularly people like Aiden Ross, people like Sneeko, right? This is obviously the best possible outcome for this stream, and now here I am talking about it, and if this fight hadn't happened, I wouldn't be talking about it, and because it did happen, everyone on the internet is talking about it and how funny or controversial or how ridiculous it is, talking about how they hate Aiden or hate Destiny. Obviously this is what you wanted, so there you go, Trainwrecks. Don't front, don't bait here, okay? Don't lie like this isn't what you wanted. It is. So it's obvious here that Aiden is just trying to push buttons as much as possible, so he asks Destiny if it's normal for him to watch his wife get pounded. Now, to be clear, as far as I know, Destiny does not sit in the room while Melina was hooking up with other dudes. I guess they're not together anymore, but they are married, but, you know, whatever that situation is. But there is that distinction, okay? Destiny was not watching, as far as I know. But obviously, Aiden finds it funny. He wants to poke fun at Destiny and just see what kind of controversy he can create. I don't really blame him, I guess. The question of if it's normal or not is meaningless anyway, because it's obviously not normal. It's completely abnormal. Almost no one has an open relationship. I mean, statistically speaking, I guess.
I just want to know, do you think it's normal to have sex and watch your wife get? That's all I'm asking you. How
when
is
you ask me, is it normal? That sounds like a question of like, yeah, that's a statistical question. It's probably not very normal. That's my guess.
Literally not.
Do you get
what are we, Adam 22? Come on, bro.
No, Destiny, do you get pleasure out of watching your wife like bounce around? That's all I'm asking, bro.
I don't think I would necessarily get pleasure watching my partner get. Oh.
So what is it? Like, I'm curious.
Somebody loop me in. What the going on right now?
So
my last relationship was an open relationship, but people like Aiden, who are borderline virgins, have no concept of anything outside of like monogamous sex or like sex with the lights turned off. So anything outside of a non-standard relationship to him must be cuckoldry, because it's the only thing he talks about 95% of the time on his stream. That's my
so you're
guess.
in an open relationship. Got it.
Last time I talked about you on my stream was months ago when you came on. I'm just curiously asking, because I do the same sneak. I'm like, what goes through your brain to like allow your partner to bounce around? I just want to know that. I'm not coming at you, bro. I'm just really directly asking you a question.
The direct answer would be people that want to do open relationships probably don't care if their partner's on that much, and they want to around. So it's like a mutual thing. That's probably the.
Sounds like a handshake of around, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
You're not actually in the room when they're having sex either, right?
Not to my knowledge, unless there's some secret shit going on. Yeah.
At this point, the conversation moves elsewhere. People just kind of drop the subject for a bit, but Aiden and Destiny were not done. They brought it back around during a conversation about religion, and Aiden once again wanted to direct the conversation to how he hates Destiny, and he basically just called him a cuck again.
No.
Destiny? You're talking about actual Destiny? Not this cuck Destiny, the real Destiny?
I don't even know anything about. All I know about you is that your ex does OnlyFans, and you're like living in Andrew Tate's shadow. So I don't even know how to insult you. I don't even know what to say.
All I know about you is that you're a full blown.
No, that's great. You know, just like I would say that all your fans are too, but I'm pretty sure like 80% of your fans are botted, so I can't even really make fun of them. Like Jesus, like I don't even know what to say about
you. You say that, but I go into.
Happened when I left?
I go into your chat.
Yo, that's a good topic.
You go into my chat and you don't see. You can't see my chat because
your chat doesn't move.
You can't see my chat because it's not all pictures and you can't read.
Why does your chat move? Why does your chat move?
My offline chat probably moves faster than your online chat when you get your bots turned off. Like, come on, dude. Seriously?
Fair enough. Hey, I'm not going to go into that, but all I will say is this, Destiny.
So here Aiden says, I'm not going to go into that with the bot thing. I mean, is this him like soft admitting that he bots his streams or that someone does? It almost seems like an admission here. Like if he didn't bot his streams, he would just deny it immediately, right? I feel like if somebody accused me of botting live viewers or views on YouTube, I would be mad about that because I earned my viewers and that number there is a direct representation of interest expressed in my content. But Aiden doesn't seem to care at all that he got called a botter, and he just tried to steer the conversation away from that by saying that Destiny is going to go to hell. So it kind of makes me think that maybe there is botting going on Kick. I mean, I've always thought that anyway, but what Aiden said here seems to be a little bit more revealing than maybe than he intended, you know?
You're going to hell. You don't believe in God, so.
Thanks. I'll see you there, buddy.
Yeah. I'm probably going to hell right now, too. I'm not going to lie. I got
happened?
I'll see you there, buddy.
I got to get my relationship with God better. I'm not going to lie. But
Trey, you can't be taking breaks, bro. Brother, what happened? Like, listen, like, I don't...
Nothing. This grown 40-year-old virgin...
What are you talking about?
Y'all gotta tell me if there's beef so I don't bring you on together.
It's hard for me to tell how much conviction Aiden actually has with the religion stuff, because on one hand, I could believe he thinks that he believes in God, but on the other hand, it's not like he really does anything religious. He doesn't pray, he doesn't go to church, he doesn't like live by, you know, the 7 deadly sins or whatever. He doesn't live by scripture at all. I mean, he's a person. And the same applies to Sneeko, who's one of Aiden's buddies. It seems like these guys either are technically religious, you know, Sneeko's Muslim, he's not Christian, but are just bad at practicing, or they're just putting it on as like a costume because they know there's a portion of viewers that want them to be religious and will reward them just for saying that they believe in God. And if you want to talk about who's going to hell, well, I covered Aiden's Milcoin rug pull he did on his audience years ago, but in case we all forgot, Milcoin was a crypto project he pushed to his audience a few years ago, and he himself said on stream after he promoted it that he had just done it for the money and that it was a rug and that he hopes none of his audience actually bought it because he did it for a bag. His words, not mine. Look at what he says right here. Check it out.
IG #1 Discord for stock tips. Aiden must buy AMC today.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token I did a while back, I already told you guys, don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a f. How many of you guys actually bought it?
Aiden, is there any way you can help me out?
This dude claims to like love and care about his fans, by the way, and then he rug pulls them. Probably the worst thing you can do to your audience as a whole. And Aiden's entire life is run this way around greed. For example, he famously moved over to the site Kick, which is owned by Stake, an online casino. Now, whatever you think about gambling, I think it's fair to say Jesus would not exactly approve of rug pulling your audience, basically scamming them. And he also would not approve of encouraging your young audience to gamble on crypto casinos. I assume he wouldn't approve of that anyway. The Bible also, of course, warns against the love of money in Timothy 6:10 and Hebrews 13:5. Scripture encourages people to avoid attempts to get rich quick. Instead, it's better to work hard to earn an honest living. Well, if God is real, then Aiden has a lot of repenting to do and a lot of money to give away, because this dude is going to burn in the deepest, darkest pits of hell for that Milcoin thing, and who knows what else he's done behind the scenes that's been scummy to basically over his audience. He's gonna burn for like 10,000 years, just burning alive.
While having his balls crushed by an industrial steel compactor.
And that's what he deserves, honestly, if he's gonna LARP as a Christian and then do this. I don't know if you know what Christians believe, Aiden. They literally believe that if you sin, you are going to go to hell. So, unless you repent soon, you're going. Now, I know it seems like I'm going super hard on Aiden. The thing is, I kind of want to like him. I think as a friend, he'd probably be fun to get along with. I like his dumbass sense of humor. I have that in common with him, but he's just not a good person. He's not even trying to be. And so when he wants to posture as a good person on these streams, I think he needs to be called out. He needs an ego check. So Destiny decides to press Aiden a little bit by asking him when the last time he was in a religious building was, meaning a church or a mosque or something like that.
What religion does Aiden even?
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Jewish. I went to
his hair, dude.
I went to a mosque recently out of respect for my friend.
Out of respect for what friend? What was he, a suicide bomber? What do you mean you went to a mod?
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You deserve to die, bro. Yeah.
And obviously, this is a pretty controversial thing to say, but given the fact that Aiden came out swinging and he implied this person died or something with the out of respect to my friend line, I really see no issue with it. Aiden himself is a guy who will joke about everything under the sun. He loves to make edgy jokes, but as soon as someone jokes about a Muslim, apparently it's like a big moral quandary where you can't joke about that. After he was joking about, you know, LGBT people having pronouns being kill/them a while ago, after him making jokes about, I mean, literally every topic, literally anything. Nothing's off limits to him, except apparently the like 3 things that he pretends to care about, one of them being the Muslim faith.
I'm not laughing.
I mean, hey, if you want to make jokes about sensitive subjects, be my guest. I think that's base and epic. But in the words of the Grandmaster iDubbbz, either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. Okay, that's kind of dumb, but in this case, that actually does apply. You can't call someone the F-slur 100 times and call them a cuck, and then get upset when someone makes a joke about a religion that you don't even belong to or really care about.
Everyone's used foul language here.
It's not that. It's just when you disrespect people's religion, it's really, really ignorant, you know?
Why the f you're not even religious, bro. That's the biggest LARP I've ever heard about.
I respect my friend's religion. I said I went to a mosque to respect my friend.
I don't even know your friend. Why would I respect his religion?
But you just said something about a suicide bombing joke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, was he a suicide bomber? If it was, I'm sorry. I take it back. My bad.
It's not that at all.
I hope it was a nice vest at least. Okay, jeez.
I'm just saying.
Where are we at? What's the next
XQC's joining in like 2 minutes. I want to know what the fuck.
I can see why your relationships don't work out.
Oh yeah, like your relationship with God or your relationship with the gym.
You're 40 years old with a fucking child. I pray for your child, but you're a horrible father.
That's great. Hey, listen. At least I'm self-made. I didn't have to beg Andrew Tate for every single part of my career.
I mean, I was rich before Tate.
I'm sure you were rich, but it wasn't because of you did. I don't even get credit for your dad's business, dude.
Brody, we go anywhere in public. Nobody knows who you are. Everyone knows who I am. So that's what I'm saying.
Yes. Nobody knows who I am. Everybody knows who's that one guy that I thought was gay from Andrew Tate's stream. That's the only thing knows about. That's the only
You're a 40-year-old.
The conversation devolves again from this point, and we get back to what makes this stream so special, which is Aiden repeating himself over and over, calling Destiny mean names or whatever.
It's not about AFK. This guy has no decency, no morals. He has nothing. He has nothing to do nothing at all. You're not a good person. I can tell.
Absolutely,
you're making suicidal jokes about mosques and shit. That shit's weird.
Call me a time, Aiden. Try to high road me while you're calling me a talking about my divorce, please. Yes, keep doing it.
You are.
High road me more,
don't
please.
Say it in a homophobic way. I mean, you are.
You don't say it in a homophobic way?
I've been saying 15 years. Yeah,
hold on.
I don't mean it.
Okay, well, hey, I wasn't saying suicide bomber in a disrespectful way. He's got a lot of conviction for his beliefs.
Guys,
all right?
shut the
Once again, listening to Aiden at all on this issue is completely ridiculous. He himself is completely immoral. He does not actually care about anything. He claims to care about his fans and love them. He tells everyone a full message, and he owes it all to his viewers, which is why he felt the need to rug pull them, because he loves them so much. I mean, at this point, an Aiden Ross viewer is less of a fan and more of an abused girlfriend. She knows she should leave, but she just can't stop coming back. Aiden is a scumbag, and that's all there is to it. I think he's funny. I like his personality, but he's objectively a less morally righteous person than Destiny even, or really almost anyone else even in the streaming world. So as the stream ends, things are not really resolved between Destiny and Aiden. They don't meet in any middle ground. There's no like silver lining here, which I mean, what did you expect? I mean, if you have like the neoliberal, you know, probably the most popular streamer in the world, Destiny, who obviously is outspoken in favor of like gay rights and stuff like that. And then the other hand, you have Aiden Ross, who doesn't seem to really care about almost any political message or any belief system really, apart from whatever seems convenient that week to him to basically steal from Andrew Tate and parrot. I mean, realistically, these people are not going to get along that well, especially when Destiny is someone who I would say, and you can hold me to this if I'm proven wrong at some point in time, I think Destiny is an exceedingly honest person for all of his, for whatever flaws he may have. I think Aiden is a dishonest person in general. I think he's a dishonest, conniving person, rubbing his hands together, thinking about how he can basically scam the internet next. And it doesn't have to be a literal scam. It doesn't have to be a literal rug pull. I just think he's a very conniving individual who is basically looking to do the least work possible to get the most return, and he'll basically be willing to do anything for that. I don't think he really cares about anything outside of that, really, outside of his own little personal gain. And I think he's probably a pretty miserable person as well, if I had to guess. I don't know that he gets a lot of happiness from interpersonal connections. He seems to be a shallow, empty, vapid person from everything I've seen, and that's pretty sad to see. But considering that's the kind of person he is, I think it's unlikely that him and Destiny would get along. And Destiny, before he leaves, he tells Aiden to game end himself, and also reveals that apparently during the stream, Aiden's chat was talking about how they should dox Destiny and his family the entire time.
Wait, can I apologize to Aiden first, though, so that we're cool? Because I don't want to leave
apologize,
you said about the Moscow was kind of.
It was. I'll apologize. I don't know if you can hear me. He might have me muted right now. I'm not sure.
He's not.
Aiden, you ever muted?
I don't know if there's gonna be a real one.
Oh, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Listen, Aiden, we had that conversation, okay, before. I think the best thing we can do is make the world a better place, and the best way we can do that is for you to f yourself. Love you. Bye.
See, I sniffed it out from that. I sniffed it out from the rat. There's no shot.
Aiden, send the goons. Send the goons after him, Aiden. I don't know what you were saying.
Come on, man.
And then Myth calls him a rat. I'm not sure why Myth is doing that, considering Aiden said stuff on the same level on that stream, and Aiden has also told people to end their lives before. But if you want my opinion, which I guess if you're watching this, you might, Myth is just a dick sucker. His career fell off a few years ago because Fortnite died, and he had to realize that people didn't like him, they like Fortnite. And now he clout sucks off of bigger streamers who have some vague idea of him being a legend in their mind. But really, this guy is just a little cornball who is pretending to be a streamer when in reality, he's really just nothing now, okay? This guy sucks. Sorry. And then Aiden says he can finally talk now that Destiny is gone, but Nick Merckx calls him out, calling him a little bitch, which is real, very real.
Hey, can I actually talk now?
Yeah.
You could have talked the whole time, but you were being a little about it.
No, I actually got texts, Nick. I couldn't say anything. Couldn't talk.
No way. Okay, my bad.
Him and Destiny were subtweeting each other.
No,
were they really? You guys are going at it?
Really?
He was trying to get my Twitter community deleted. He's trying to tell people to spam report it, but nobody did.
Actually?
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, we right here in the call, and all that bitch shit's going on, huh?
Literally.
Crazy. That's wild, bro.
This is what I'm saying.
Is that wild?
As for whoever texted Aiden saying not to talk to Destiny, I don't even know who that would be. Aiden isn't beholden to like brand deals or anything like that. He's not exactly worried about being canceled, considering he uses words on that stream that would get a lot of people canceled. And also, like Aiden, I thought the whole bit behind him was like, I don't give a f. I'm going to say whatever I want. You can't stop me. I'm off Twitch. I'm banned on Twitch. And now I'm going to Kick where I can say anything I want. I'm a controversial guy. I thought that was the whole point of Aiden Ross now. I thought he was supposed to be like the based guy, the based and red-pilled guy. And now apparently he's afraid to get in an argument with like the blue-haired guy, the blue-haired lib who, you know, his wife has sex with other people. Like, this is the person Aiden's afraid of, apparently. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe he got a text from Kick staff telling him to stop calling Destiny a I mean, that could be it. I don't really know. Overall, though, I just see Aiden Ross as kind of a worm. There's no way around it. It's not shocking to me, though, that his chat was apparently trying to dox Destiny, or at least contemplating and talking about it. That is the kind of audience Aiden has accumulated over the past few years. The ones that aren't bots, anyway, do seem to be some pretty crazy, toxic people. I mean, it's just completely degenerate on all fronts. And that's to be expected from Aiden Ross. I'm sorry. It is. I was actually curious about how Destiny felt about this whole thing, so I decided to give him a call on stream and just ask him. All right, Steven, I saw you arguing with Aiden the other day. How do you feel about that conversation? Was that productive? Did that get your blood flowing?
It was fun. I always like to knock people down a couple pegs who are arrogant as fuck and aren't used to having people shit on them, so I enjoyed it.
So my big question about Aiden is how famous actually is he? Because I see his numbers, like for example, I go to his Kick. According to Kick stats, his peak viewers in the past 30 days are 120,000 live, which I think would make him the biggest streamer in the world, would it? I mean, that is a lot, right? Close to it, at least.
On Kick, yeah.
Yeah. But I go to his YouTube channel, and he's getting like 100 to 200,000 views a video. So there seems to be a big sort of disparity there between the amount of people that are watching him live and the amount of people that watch him after the fact. And I feel like that's probably I mean, Aiden kind of alluded to this on stream as well, but is there some sort of bot thing going on Kick to this day that's like persistent?
Okay, here's a lot of issues. Okay, ready? You can figure out how to weigh these appropriately. I don't know how to weigh these all appropriately, okay? Here's a lot of things to keep in mind, okay? Number one, right off the top, there is a lot of people that bot everything. It's ubiquitous in some of these communities, especially in communities with men with no honor or integrity who are desperately looking for clout and attention. So people like Sneeko, when you go on their Instagrams and you see that they've got like 3 million followers, but like 8 pictures, it's probably because they deleted every other picture and they're paying to boost the engagement on every single one so that it matches their follower count. But the followers aren't generally real. They're not really that popular, right? You're gonna tell me that these people are like hitting like A-list celebrity penetration.
Is that not a form of like fraud? Because if they're getting advertisers and stuff, like let's say they do a sponsorship and the advertiser's under the impression they're going to hit that many people, and it's all bots, I mean, shouldn't these people be held legally liable if they're like just inflating their numbers?
No, because once the advertisers do 1 or 2 deals, they'll realize that it's all bullshit. Also, you can never prove that they actually botted it. They could just say, well, somebody else botted it, right?
once again, I just don't understand the botting from like a long-term, you know, sort of perspective. I mean, these people, Aiden Ross wants to have like a long career on YouTube or Kick, whatever.
Does he?
I assume. I mean, I think. No.
Not to sound like mean or derogatory towards young people, because I know you're a fellow young person. But for a lot of these people, right, they only see like in like 3 to 4 year horizons, right? The idea of having a career spanning 10 plus years is kind of out of reach of most people. They're not even thinking about that.
Well, then what the f would the plan be? Like, what is he going to do with himself?
Well, when you bot, you've got bigger numbers. It looks good, right? I don't want to be some loser on Twitter with like 200,000 followers. I want to have 1 million followers. So you bot them up, you look good, and then you tweet. And then more people see you with 1 million followers, and then you create like a... do you know what busking is?
No.
Sometimes you go out and play for money with a horn. You go out to the street, you play, you open your case, you throw in like 30 bucks on your own because when people see money in there, they want to donate more money. Yeah. And then they do, and I think streamers are the same. It's why they fake donos. It's why they bot engagement, because if you've got, you know, one guy with 1,000 viewers and another guy with 10, you're going to watch a guy with 1,000 viewers, even if his real viewership is only 5. But like now he gets another real viewer because he's got the numbers. So a lot of people do that, I think. I know a lot of OnlyFans girls that do it, a lot of streamers that do it, yeah.
But eventually their real viewers are just going to run out within just a few years, and they're only going to be left with the bots. They're going to be, I mean, just at the fucking bottom. I mean, even Aiden Ross, I mean, someone who, I mean, I'd say probably a year ago, he probably peaked. He seems to be kind of on a downward trend now. I mean, once again, like, this guy is like way more famous than I am, right? Way more famous. His name alone carries a lot of weight. He has 4 million subscribers on YouTube. His channel is like doing the same as my second channel, which has like not even 300,000 subscribers. And I don't know if it's more difficult to bot on YouTube, so maybe that's why, but it just doesn't seem like there's as much interest in these guys. It seems like a lot of it is completely inflated, basically.
Maybe, but that's one aspect, was the botting part. A second aspect is viewership can be hyper-specific to certain types of platforms, and it's worth noting that as well. You could have somebody that legitimately has 5 million real followers on TikTok that have enjoyed TikTok things in the past, and either one, they've stopped watching because TikTok fans are very transient, they come and go, or two, they like watching the short form content on TikTok, but when this person posts YouTube videos, they get 5,000 views. And it might just be the fact that that audience doesn't translate very well from TikTok over to YouTube.
Well, TikTok is so fleeting, so obviously that's one example. I mean, TikTok is, I mean, like 1 million views on TikTok may as well be like one person in a room watching you. Like most of those people probably just swipe past and clicked on your shit on accident. But if you look at the translation from, let's say, like a streaming site to YouTube, I mean, let's take someone like Asmongold, who is a pretty big streamer. You check his YouTube, things seem to check out, right? Yeah, someone like XQC, pretty big streamer. You check his YouTube, things seem to check out, and he's certainly doing way better than Aiden is. And that's across the board for all these guys. And then you have Aiden Ross, who, I mean, supposedly is getting an average of 50,000 viewers live, which I think is higher than both of the people I just named. And he's peaking at 120, 130,000 live, which is astronomical numbers. Like, I don't know if most of the top streamers in the world ever hit that number. Like, he is so up there. Yeah. And yet you go to his YouTube and it's just dead. I mean, his Twitter is popping whenever he tweets once in a blue moon. I mean, his Instagram gets a bunch of likes, but he doesn't really post there much either. But then you go to his YouTube channel and you'd think like even just the name Aiden Ross in the title should be getting like an unreal amount of views in my mind. I mean, at least 1 million a video, right?
Yeah, possibly. But then again, there's two questions. One is we don't know how much of his other platforms are botted, number one. And then number two, it's still hard to tell how much of a carryover there is from his audience from one platform to the next, right?
I know it's hard to tell, but I know it should be more. I know it should be
possible. I wouldn't bank on that being incredibly obvious. I would say that. There were a lot of streamers that had 30, 40, 50,000 viewers that put almost no effort into their YouTubes. So you'd have people with 30, 40,000 concurrent viewers and you check their YouTubes. I just checked Mizkiv's. He's pulling like 3 million views a month. That's not much.
That's fair, but I mean, Aiden's team clearly, I mean, they're putting out like a half-hour to 40-minute video once or twice a week on his YouTube channel, so it's pretty consistent uploads, and it's every single one is with like a popular person. So it'll be like Aiden Ross goes on with iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed is super famous. You'd think that would do better. Only 300,000 views in 2 weeks. Another one with iShowSpeed, 250K in 2 weeks. Aiden Ross and Tfue. That one has 120K views. Aiden Ross visits Drake's mega mansion, okay? Drake's house, 160K. Like, it just doesn't seem to add up in my mind that these are the numbers these people are getting, and so I can only assume that Aiden Ross's name actually means way less to the average person than I initially thought, or maybe just than it did a year ago, because even a year ago, I mean, his channel was doing way better. He was, you know, averaging close to 1 million.
Sure. All possible things,
Yeah, and I mean, maybe he's just completely fallen off, but I was also under the impression that he was popular kind of not because of the red pill thing. I mean, he did come up with that, but I mean, he was popular before that for like LeBron James' sons or whatever playing with him on GTA and all that stuff, hanging out with rappers, celebrities, you know, I don't know, maybe Ice Spice twerked on him a little bit. So that kind of stuff probably, I mean, in my mind, he had more longevity than someone like Sneeko, who only blew up on streaming from this red pill kind of stuff.
Maybe.
And
Again,
Sneeko is like just completely shallow.
Yeah, but no. I think Sneeko has a way stronger long-term audience than Aiden Ross ever will. 100%. There's another thing that happens with Aiden Ross. All of these are factors, by the way. I'm not telling you what percentage weighs into any of them. They're just all factors I know that can influence things. Another thing with Aiden Ross you have to consider is Aiden Ross has very, 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 very high recognition because of how much time he spends like participating in other communities or like bouncing off of kind of like pop culture stuff. So whether it's with rappers or I think athletes or shit like that. So that gets him like really high name recognition, but that might not drive a lot of viewership. Another really good example of this recently might be like Nick Fuentes, you know, seeing like Donald Trump and all of that. Lots of name recognition doesn't always translate to high viewership because people recognize the name and see you when you're like participating with their celebs, but they're not going to ever go seek you out on their own. Another really good example of this is Pokemon. If you look at Pokemon's analytics right now, she's not really like she's kind of an okay-ish size streamer, I think, like decently big. She might still pull 5-figure viewership. I'm not sure. But YouTube channel's pretty dead. Socials don't get as much engagement. I think her Instagram does okay. But when you're trying to figure out like, well, what happened to Pokemon? Why does it seem like she's like so insanely popular? It's because the name recognition is really, 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 really high. But that doesn't always translate to viewership across platforms.
Yeah, well, you're right. I thought she was like way bigger than she is. She's averaging like 9,000.
Yep, less than 10,000 viewers now, basically. Yeah.
There's a big difference between views and engagement.
What do you mean by that?
I learned about this after I switched into my advertising role, that like we would go after influencers with millions of followers and even millions of views, and then we would look at the actual conversions on the back end, and there would be no sales. So one thing you could kind of look at to check, Destiny mentioned this a little bit before, was how many brand deals has Aiden had in the last 6 months? I think the number is 0.
Yeah.
Well, apart from Steak, I guess.
That doesn't count. Because essentially
wait real quick, does he even have a deal with Stake?
I mean, doesn't he gamble?
I don't know.
Him gambling is at the same time.
Wait, yes, yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say, Devin, though, just to add to that, though. I mean, wouldn't you expect a streamer to have relatively high engagement relative to other people? Because
you would think so.
I mean, the audience is like the audience is like more loyal. They're all there, especially like Aiden, who's known to have like a super toxic, rabid fan base. I mean,
Let me tell you a tale. So we used to believe that the conversion from Twitch calls to action would be like, it makes sense, right? Like if Destiny right now shouts out my website, you would think like some people would hit it. So that's true. That'll happen, right? Like, for example, like we shouted out the website on the Scuff podcast. I think there was something like 90,000 viewers. I take issue with Kick's quotation marks view, so we could talk about that. But let's say there was 90,000. The website at that moment got 450 hits, right? So there is this initial push, and then that's what causes us to like psychologically say, oh, like we're getting way more audience on things like Twitch and things like that. But if you actually look at the distributed stats across like YouTube, Instagram, calls to action there, YouTube is on average about 18 times more effective. So if I tell you to do something in a video, like go here, buy this thing, this is the affiliate code, you're 18 times more likely to engage with that than you are on a live stream.
That's extremely surprising to me.
I know. I was blown away. I would not have believed that if I had not.
I would think it would be completely the
inverse.
Because in my mind, like the amount of streamers I watch is so low that if I am watching them, I'm probably an actual fan of them, and I'm going to be more engaged with what they're doing, and it's more likely I'll buy one of their products. For YouTube, like I watch a lot more YouTube, and it's also more passive. So I'll watch it in the background. I'm not necessarily a fan of that person. It's just like, oh, I'll throw this on, and I thought that's how literally everyone viewed it.
Well, I think one of the things that Destiny was just saying too was the idea of a person in someone's head is different than like having a fan and being a fan of that person. So if you look at if you think of like an explosion, like the ground zero would be like your core base of fans. And then everything that goes out from that might be people that are like, oh, I've heard of that person, or I have like, what we call impressions. Like I have an impression of that person, meaning like they're in my headspace, but I don't really know what they do. And so I think Aiden has been attached to a lot of big activations and big people, but he himself isn't like part of that core explosion. Like he does have a dedicated fan base, but like to your point and to Destiny's, I think it's not nearly as large as people think. which is the case for most influencers. Yeah.
Also, keep in mind that the way that people engage on certain products is a lot different too. If I were to do an ad and I were to try to sell my audience like a backpack or something, like maybe I'll get like 100 sales or something. It depends, I guess, on what kind of backpack specifically we're talking about. But even if I don't do a call to action, and even if I don't advertise a single thing, if I play like a new little indie game on my stream, I might have 500 plus fans that pick that indie game up because they see me playing it. So like the ways that audiences engage with like versus like somebody that does like a call to action on a YouTube channel about like history might say go play Lords Mobile. I think their conversion on that might be lower than if the products are more relevant to their audience as well. But.
Right. Another question that I have, just as a follow-up to something you said, is you said you think Sneeko has a lot more long-term potential than someone like Aiden Ross. Could you elaborate on that?
Sneeko has done a really good job at building a really strong brand in terms of who he is. So he's put in the work for the past 10 years. And Sneeko, generally, from what I've seen, I haven't followed as much recently because he's a piece of shit. But it seems like Sneeko does a really good job at building relationships with other influencers or talent and then engaging with them in a very Sneeko-like way. Whereas, and again, this is all on very, very little viewership, okay? It looks like when Aiden Ross, like here's the difference. If I'm a huge fan of Sneeko, okay, I wanna see Sneeko talk to somebody who I'm also a fan. I wanna see Sneeko and Drake engage with each other because I think they're gonna have like a back and forth. I think Sneeko's gonna kind of ask some questions. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. If I'm a fan of Aiden Ross and he interacts with a celeb, I think he's just gonna kind of fanboy and like say nothing and be kind of retarded and that's it. Like I don't think he's gonna grow any fan base or like drive like real engagement or interest in the interaction. That's just the feeling I get from the outside. You can tell me if you've seen difference and you feel differently. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So to me, when you say something like Sneeko's built a brand over the past 10 years, in my opinion, he built like a brand for 8 years and then completely just like dropped that to do this new sort of Aiden Ross impression he's been doing over the past 2, where he reacts to shit in like a retarded way, has no critical thinking skills, has no introspection, self-reflection, and that's like what he's done basically since he started streaming. And before that, he was building a brand that was actually cool and special, and now it just kind of sucks. And in my opinion, that brand has way less longevity because it's inherently tied, I mean, at least right now, to a political, cultural movement, whatever you want to call it, the red pill thing, that's dying. I mean, it is dying. And there's no doubt that his viewership is probably suffering as a result of it.
I don't think Sneeko's tied to the red pill stuff anymore. I think he's pretty out of it now.
Okay, so then what is the appeal of him, if not that?
Because he's Sneeko. He's an interesting, unique character, even if he's retarded sometimes.
Is he interesting? Right? He just seems so two-dimensional now. He was interesting.
Sneeko has a very, whether you like him or hate him, bro, I hate him more than you do. I don't know how much you hate him, but I promise you I hate Sneeko more than you.
I don't hate him that much.
Oh, okay, I hate him a lot. Okay, but he's an interesting person to listen to. Like, how many other people in the red pill space, regardless of how dumb their thoughts are, how many of them would have a 2-hour conversation with Dr. K, right? But like, I mean, not many.
True, but I feel like when I listen to that conversation, I feel like he's going down a retard dialogue tree.
A little bit, but Dr. K did a good job at breaking him open. But I'm just saying that, like, I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't go down retard dialogue trees and shit like that. I agree with you. But he still, like, is exploring other collabs. Watching a Sneeko X whoever collab is infinitely more interesting than watching Aiden pretend to be gay around another celebrity. Like, it's just boring as fuck. I don't know why. Like, here's the thing. I think if you're honest with yourself, I think you would agree with me here. I can watch Sneeko and go, I get why people watch this guy. Makes sense. When I watch Aiden, I have no idea. I truly don't understand. Unless the fan base is significantly younger than what I can empathize with.
I would say that I get both of them, probably. Yeah,
really? Okay, I can't, unless you're 14, I don't understand the Aiden Ross thing at all. I don't know what you're watching for.
I mean, when he sniffed Andrew Tate's chair, that was epic. That was hilarious.
Okay, well, also, to be fair, you're 20 years old, aren't you? So you might be.
Okay, with the ages. And
so maybe you're closer. You're closer, okay? Because you're 5 years, okay, from like being 15. I'm 20 years from being, I think, 15. Yeah, so I can't.
Turkey, relax. Thank you for acknowledging my presence, though.
You're welcome. What's up, buddy? What'd you come in here for?
I don't know. I heard a certain guy talking, one of the greatest streamers of all time, at least in the modern age, Aiden Ross. I don't know why you do that.
Oh, well, listen. Here we have a fan in the flesh. What do you think? What are like the main draws when you're watching Aiden Ross? Like, what are you watching for?
Okay, first of all, I'm not a fan. Second of all, just because I'm not a fan, I don't also ignore the that they've done. First of all, prior to what they're doing recently, which to be honest, every streamer that has made a lot of money has become content pretty much. But prior to all this, that guy was very much one of the best streamers on Twitch. The content that he did with all the Aiden Ross, absolutely. Back in the pandemic when he was fucking pulling 100K streams, bringing on rappers, like generally.
He's bringing on famous rappers, talking to celebrities, reacting to talking about what's going on the internet. getting
reaction's
swatted
been-
all the time, so there's drama. Like, it was crazy.
No, it's not even about the drama. It's not even about the drama. It's about the interaction. It's about how easy it was. It was even his fucking GTA server, the SSB. Like, that guy did so much, and not only that, he also, I'd say, he laid the groundwork for guys like Speed, guys like Kai. Like, he put on a lot of.
Are you? Can I?
people
So
that
here's like a
cheated.
question. Okay,
100%.
do you think that like because when I look at Kai Cenat, okay, I would never watch Kai's content. Okay, it's just not for me. But I totally understand why he's at the level of fame he is. Why people like his. I get it 1,000,000%.
That's fair.
I don't understand like. Comparing Aiden Ross and Kai just seems so weird to me because for Kai Cenat, when he brings on like celebs and it's going to be like a funny time. It's going to be a funny experience. He's got like Kai, love him or hate him. You know, I said the screaming he does, but he's like got a very boisterous, bombastic personality. It's fun to like watch him do shit. Aiden is like a charisma black hole. He legitimately looks like the kid that was 16 years old who would pretend to take like pictures of other boys' asses in the showers to pretend that he was gay, but then later on you would find out that he actually was gay and was getting off to it the whole time, but was too short. Like that, I'm not serious. Like that's what Aiden Ross's whole personality to me seems like. He just doesn't seem like funny or interesting at all. He's just like this little giggly weird kid in the background. Whereas Kai, I totally get. I know why people watch him, even if I wouldn't watch it personally. I'm just trying to figure out like what are like the like what are some iconic streams he did, or like what are some things? Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm legitimately asking.
The Keemstar moment. The Keemstar moment. Have you seen that? It's epic.
What Keemstar moment?
When Keemstar goes on a stream and he asks Aiden Ross about his crypto scam, and the entire room goes silent. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't actually.
Destiny, have you not seen that? I need to send you this. Hold on.
Well, I gotta say this. I gotta say this. With Kai pretty much took it to the next level. Like he does the shit that Aiden did, but he does it way more consistently, and he doesn't do it in a way that's like distasteful to some. Because I'd say with Aiden, like he did a lot of
content creators of all time. Yeah.
100%.
Wait, who?
And I actually put Speed there. Kai, he said Kai.
Oh, okay.
I put Speed there as well. I put Speed there as well. Oh, even though like some people don't like Speed, I think those two guys, I don't watch them, but I also recognize the amount of work that they put in, especially Kai. This is awesome. And Aiden did that. It's just that he did the gay jokes, which I think maybe you didn't like. That's why you didn't tune in. Like he does what Kai's doing today.
He's homophobic.
No, it's not. No. When I say gay jokes, I don't necessarily mean that like he's like listen, I love a good gay joke, okay? But I'm just saying it just seemed like his whole thing was just like sitting there making like really juvenile whatever jokes in the background, but he wasn't like adding much. Like, if I'm a big fan of Aiden, am I really excited to see Aiden collab with somebody else? Like, is there going to be some cool, interesting, unique things that come out of that?
Prior to Aiden, there wasn't a single streamer that was able to pull in these A-list celebrities, these rappers that were seen as like completely, because Twitch really blew up during the pandemic. So prior to then, people viewed these social media creators, especially streamers, and these like rappers, actors, whatever, like two complete different fucking groups of people that there was no fucking connection whatsoever. And then Aiden started bringing these people on, and he was so fucking comfortable with them, and he took them out of their element. You got to realize these people are rappers. These people, like when it comes to homophobic, whatever the fuck this gay, that gay, and he took them to that place constantly, and he did it in a way that was humorous. He did it in a way that like made them engage, and he opened the door to people like Kai to have Nikki on, to have 21 on, to have all these guys on, because now they realize, holy shit, these streamers are pulling in insane numbers. If I go on their stream, I give them 2 hours of my time, all of a sudden my fucking like record is selling 10-20% more. So he was the guy that actually genuinely started that shit and just made streamers look dope to the mainstream guys. So that's what he did. I don't know why you want to fucking undersell the guy. Okay, maybe these days all he does is fucking steak and pretty much like no content.
He's gotten lazy.
But he's gotten lazy after he's made his money. But holy shit, there was that 1 year stretch that nobody could touch him. It's like what Kai's going through right now. But Kai took it. I think Kai took it to the next level too. But it's pretty much what Kai's doing right now. That's what I'd say.
All right, well, now that we put some respect on Aiden's name, I'm going to get out of here. Destiny, be sure to watch that clip. It's going to tickle you. I'll see you guys. Bye. And be sure to become a member. For $5 a month, they get the members-only podcasts and exclusive videos that only members get. Thanks so much for your support.
No